this is a game of skills, and without the skills, you will not be successful as a coach. You got to know what it is. One of the biggest challenges that I had when I first decided, yo, I want to be a coach, or even throughout my journey as I continued to scale, was what are the next skills that I needed to go to the next level, but I didn't know when I first started off. So that prevented me over and over and over, year after year after year, just doing a bunch of random things, not getting to where I want to be and not helping the people that I wanted to help, not because I didn't have the great intentions in my heart, or not because I didn't have the knowledge from my experience on how I can help them in my head, but because I didn't understand the skill that was going to take me to the next level. So my big takeaway from years of not just my own experience, but from the years of working with other clients, is that being a successful coach is not just about the coaching itself and the skills that's associated with the coaching. And that's where a lot of folks they come to me and they say, yo, I'm a great coach. I know how to speak to people, or, I've spoken on stages, I've impacted audiences. And they think that just because they might have one of the skills in terms of speaking, speaking and/or coaching, that in itself has many skills, but they completely forget about the skills that it takes to be successful in running a coaching business. So you have the skills of coaching and the skills of successfully building and scaling a coaching business. So, coach, what are some of the things that I need to go to the next level? Like, give me the picture of what I need. So, a couple things. Let's start off with coaching first. So, most people, they start off with some type of experience that they can help people with, right? Maybe you've been through something. Maybe you've been through trauma. Maybe you've been through something when you were younger, or something maybe in a marriage, but you've been through some type of experience that allowed you to grow through it, learn from it, and then say, okay, these are the principles that I can help other people with. However, it's going to take more than that in order to really start impacting people, especially when you say, okay, now I'm a coach, because now it's more than just having a conversation with somebody. So a couple of the key skills you need. First, you need the skill of listening. Being a great listener is also gonna allow you to ask better questions. It's gonna allow you to be able to respond to somebody appropriately. You ever been having a conversation with somebody, you just wanted to speak, right? You were not really listening to what they're saying because you was already processing what you wanted to say next. So being a coach, you really have to do the opposite of that. You really have to be present in the moment. You have to listen to the person that's in front of you, and you want to be able to ask thoughtful questions. Being a great coach, from a listening perspective, it shows how thoughtful you are, but it also shows how experienced you are, because great coaches are not the first people to just talk and just try to demonstrate how smart they are in their domain or expertise, but they listen carefully to really ask specific questions. So that's the second thing, is really be able to ask skillful questions. Listen, understand, comprehend, really figure out what the root cause is, but also be able to ask great questions. When I first got into the game, I would just let people just say things, and I wouldn't ask probing questions. I wouldn't ask deep questions or Socratic questions where I'm getting down to the root cause, where I'm asking questions not all of the time because I need to understand it, but a lot of the times I ask questions to my clients so they can understand themselves better, understand their situation better, or be able to pick out the root cause of what's really happening. Because when you are able to ask skillful questions, they will actually self-diagnose and be able to solve their own issues. So now, as you're continuing to work with them, they're not gonna have 100 questions for you, right? They'll have 5 questions for you because they've learned how to they learn how to be self-sufficient. I know a lot of coaches out there, I'm not gonna say any names, but there's folks out there who they don't want you to be able to think for yourself. So they'll just keep spoon feeding you. So you have to keep coming back and learning from them to get to the next level. But the way that I see the greatest coaches do is I see them asking questions that they already know the answers to. So now they're coming up, now you're coming up with your own ideas, right? Or your client's gonna be coming up with their own ideas, but you will still get the credit for that. So being able to ask great questions is really super key. Being a great coach also comes down to challenging. Are you challenging people? Are you challenging people to be the best versions of themselves? Are you challenging people to step outside of their comfort zone? Are you challenging people to do things, feel things, and just act in a manner that's not inconsistent with got them to the point where they're at now? Because for them to get to the next level, regardless of what niche you focus on, they're gonna have to think a different way. They're gonna have to feel a different way in terms of whatever the scenario is, and they're gonna have to take different action. What they thought, what they felt, and the action that they take got them to the point that where they're at in that moment. But your job as the coach, you know, okay, let me guide them in a different way. So those are definitely some of the core skills. Now, from a business perspective, you know, there's a lot of different skills, especially when you get into scaling. But I'm gonna throw some quick ones. One huge skill is, you know, being able to speak. Being able to speak in front of people is gonna allow you just to be a better influencer. Speaking on camera, speaking on stage is gonna allow you to be a better influencer. Thus, is gonna make people more attracted to you, your brand, and really wanting them to inquire and learn more about how you can help them. You wanna be able to produce great content. So your content, you want that to be phenomenal as well. From a production standpoint, that's just a whole bunch of skills. Just trying to learn how to edit videos is a whole skill in itself, right? But really just learning how to put out content in a way that's engaging, put out content in a way that is valuable, so people, even if it's not the highest produced or the best sound or whatever, your goal is gonna be to always put out messages and content that's just amazing for people. So you want to make sure that your skills and the content is at the best of its ability. The skill of being able to generate leads. I know a lot of people who are great at being able to command attention, but they're still broke. So how do you generate leads? This lead generation is multiple skills depending on how you want to generate leads. If you want to generate leads using Facebook ads, learning ads itself is a skill. Facebook versus YouTube, learning YouTube is a skill in itself. If you say, all right, well, I want to learn how to use traditional, television. Well, learning how to be interviewed and being great and attracting people on TV is a skill in itself. If you want to write blogs to attract leads, well, learning how to write blogs is a skill in itself. So the lead generation process to bring somebody into your world to be interested in what you have, all of those are skills. So it's about following a process, a proven process that you feel like works great for you. And then it's about learning, okay, based on how I want to do it, or based on what's recommended, let me learn how to do that, right? So, we do, for me, just organic. So just organically putting out my content, just learning how to do that has been a skill for me personally. And then I also run advertisements as well too, like Facebook ads. And that was a whole learning curve that I had to figure out. But me figuring out that skill allowed me to just put money behind the machine that allowed more people to be exposed to me. And then once they were exposed to me, they're like, yo, like this is great, like this content, oh my God. Like I've had people that said that you literally should be charging for the content that you put out. Like your free content is better than paid programs that I've been in before. And I'm blessed to hear that, but the reason that they even got exposed to that was because I learned the skill of ads, and I was able to do that to get in front of them so they can see my message. Does that make sense? And then also, you definitely want to be great. This is one of the biggest skills, if not the biggest skill that you want to be very serious about, and that's sales. The skill of sales is so important for so many different reasons. The skill of sales is obviously great because you're going to be more confident when you're speaking to people on the phone, on video, or however you communicate with them. You're going to be so confident that a lot of times that confidence in itself is going to make them great. But just the skill of being able to influence and persuade, the skill of being able to demonstrate your value, the skill of being able to elicit what are the challenges that somebody's facing, and then position your product and service in a way that they really can understand how your product or service can help. That's key. And what's so great about just the skill of sales is that it translates to everything else. It translates to your marketing. So now you're doing marketing, but because you understand the psychology of the buyer, which is a big reason why you want to have a niche. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to choose a niche. Well, newsflash, your marketing is going to be watered down, and it's going to be harder for you to generate sales because you're not going to be able to articulate articulate the pains and the challenges and the goals of a particular person, right? If I'm helping speakers, I know one thing about all speakers. They want to do more speaking engagements. I know one thing about all coaches, right? If you're a real estate agent, sell houses, right? So the thing is, your messaging becomes a lot tighter when you're focused on a specific niche. Now, that helps a lot when it comes to scale, when it comes to sales, and now you'll generate more revenue because you just know how to help more people on a higher level here. But then also that translates to everything, all of your marketing, all of your videos, all of the emails that you send out. If you're on TV, if you're on radio, if you're on podcasts, it translates to everything because you know the psychology of the person that you're working with. All right, so just continue to grind, like watch this over and over and over, save it, and if you want more lessons in terms of sales and marketing, definitely check out my other videos and continue to make things happen. All right, remember, slow motion is better than no motion. Let's work.